this is Mike Best with Grand Pines Resort, and I'm going to give you an informational video on how to use a pontoon if you're staying on Little Round Lake. We've got a couple different pontoons. We've got this series, and then we've got a little bit older ones over here, but pretty much everything's the same on what we're going to go through. Depending, it doesn't matter which boat you have, the directions are going to pretty much be the same. Let's talk about starting your pontoon. The most important thing is, or one of the most important things, is that the boat is in neutral. Here it's in gear. If I go to try and start it, it will not turn over. If I put it into neutral, turn the key, it will start. Okay. The other thing that's very important is this safety clip. If this clip is off, this is the number one reason I get calls, is because the clip's not on. And if you listen, it beeps and just turns over. It will not start. As soon as I take the clip and put it back on, it will start. Now, not all of them will beep if that clip is off, but the biggest thing is if it just turns over and over and does not start, then your safety clip is not on. The other thing is, let's talk about power trim. This is to move your motor up and down. So I'm going to push the button up, and then we're going to move the camera in the back. You'll see how the motor's coming up. That is how you make your motor go up and down. If you're going up to a sandbar, you make that motor go up and down. If you're going underneath the bridge, I always tell people have it about a 45, which is about right there. So we're going to put that back down. So every boat has 10 boat cushions, and that's the maximum amount of occupancy that you can have on a pontoon. So underneath the front seats, we have life jackets, and then front seats, and then the side seat will have some. And then also we have a throw cushion, and every boat has to have one of these. We always keep this one close to the driver's seat. So that's another item that you want to have. Little Round, some of the boats have canopies. If the water's too high, we will take the canopies off, and the reason that we do that is because getting underneath the bridge can be difficult, and we're going to go take a ride over there, and I'm going to show you that as far as how you want to go underneath the bridge when leaving Little Round going into Big Round. Talk about gas. If you're on Little Round, you're not required to fill up the gas. We will fill the gas up. You won't be charged anything extra, but we will when you do leave the resort, you'll see a charge on your credit card for the amount of gas that you used during the time while you stay there. If you do go on to the Big Round side and you do want to get gas, just past right when you go underneath the bridge is Round Lake Marina, and we'll take a ride over there and I'll show you the marina as well. But yeah, we do need you. We will be charging you for the gas when you use the boat. A little discussion on putting your canopy up and putting it down. Not all the boats have canopies, but if they do, just want to make sure that you have two people when you're putting them up and down. It will be a lot easier. So you want someone on each side of the boat, and this we have up. We're going to start. You clip the front, then you clip the back, and then you fold it. Again, this is almost impossible to do with only one person. You want two people. Okay, and then you will lower it. Okay. And then this particular one has these little smaller clips that go in to hold it up. And then you have the canopy that's down. Now, if we want to put the canopy up, same thing. You want two people, one on each side. Pop the lower leg off first. Come forward. And again, almost impossible with one person. Come forward. Put the back legs in. Now we have the canopy up, and they are tied to the front. Please make sure that your anchor is tied before you drop it. We've had a lot of anchors that we lose, and it's just because people untie them to use them to go to like beaches and stuff like that, and they forget to tie them back up. So you do have an anchor and you do have a paddle. About swim ladders, If all the pontoons have a ladder, they either have a ladder attached to the back, but if you do not have a ladder on the back of your pontoon, then you'll have one underneath your seat. If you go under your seat, you'll find a swim ladder, and it does have a buoy on it. And these ladders come over and they attach by the door, and you can see there's clips there that these hook onto. And you see there's little clips there so that you can get in and out of the boat if you need to. Okay. Okay, next we're going to talk about our props. And if I bring the motor all the way up and go ahead and look at the prop here, you're going to see that there's scratches and nicks and dings on it. Now, if you're going to be traveling on sandbars and going in a little round, there's no way that you can avoid this. And it's understandable. That's normal wear and tear. You're not going to be charged for a prop. And when you get here, when you lift up your prop, they're going to look like they're wore, because that's normal wear and tear. We put new props on at the beginning of the season, and they are going to wear out through the season. We're not looking to charge you for every little scratch and ding and nick on the prop. Where we're going to have a conversation, or where there'll be a problem, is if you actually hit something, which means full power and you go into like Hinton Bay, those areas that I showed you, or all the 3 danger areas. Those are where you're going to have major damage. But just driving around, yeah, you're going to bump a rock, you're going to hit some sand. That's normal. That happens. And it's normally going to be at slow speeds. So again, when you look at your prop, it's not going to be shining white. It's going to have some wear and tear, and that's normal. Going underneath the bridge, that little round, this is the #1 issue we have with our pontoon boats. If you look right here, here's an example of somebody went underneath there and they hooked the bolt and they tore it. It probably caught underneath there and broke this. This has just got repaired. In fact, I snagged one of these last year myself, and I do this all the time. So big thing is canopy all the way down. And one of the biggest mistakes people make is when they go to put the canopy down, it doesn't go all the way. It's like this. And they think, oh, that's good enough, it will fit. Well, it won't. If we turn around here and you look at the bridge, there's a beam that comes down and there's bolts there. And that's where everybody gets into trouble, okay? So you have to make sure that this is 100% down, flat. Make sure that it's down so that this is not gonna snag up. And now I'm gonna show you how to go underneath the bridge. Okay, you wanna make sure that everybody can get down in a knee position. You do not want people sitting like this upright, because again, that they could get hit in the head with the bolt or that beam that comes through. You want people on the sides, okay? And you want to go right up the center, okay? So now when it's shallow like this, typically what I'll do, if you see you got these higher seats here, they won't hit that center, but at times they will. The shallowest is on the right or the left, so you want to kind of center it so that you don't, these big seats here, we've had those, they get damaged on this bolt. And if you look, you can see right here, you could hit your head on here. You could hit your head on these bolts. You just want to go through real slow. If you look, like now, this canopy top has got quite a bit of clearance, but if it wasn't all the way down, you could potentially hit these bolts. And you just kind of go through real slow. I put the motor up a little bit, like at that 45. I go in gear, out of gear. Let it coast, in gear, out of gear. And you do not want to, you don't want to go very fast. It's just in gear, let the boat go forward, put it in neutral. Go forward, put it in neutral. Okay? Now you still want that motor at that 45. You don't want it all the way out of the, you don't want it out of the water, but you just want to trim it a little bit. And then as you get out past the buoys here at the marina, then you can put the motor back down. Let's talk about getting gas at Round Lake Marina. This is the only place on the lake that you can get gas. As you can see, it's pretty busy right now. And that's the thing, when you get your gas, what I recommend is that you come the night before. Don't do it, 20 minutes before you're gonna check out. Come the night before. What we require is that you fill the boats up with 3/4 gas. So if you wanna use the boat that night, fill it up or put a little bit over 3/4 and then use the boat, and in the morning you're good to leave. The marina is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and only till noon on Sundays. So they are 7 days a week, 9 to 5, but then in the morning on Sundays they do close early. Going into the big round, I always go on the right hand side. Any buoys that you see that are white, they might say no wake, but also white buoys are danger buoys. So like that is extremely shallow there. You'd want to stay between that. And this is the deepest side of the channel. People do go on the left, but it is deeper on the right hand side. You're gonna have less chance of damage if you stick to the right. Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about white buoys again. So these say slow, no wake. You do not want to have a wake when you come by these, and then also consider white buoys as shallow danger areas on the lake. You want to stay away from these white buoys. On the lake, you see a red buoy, there's usually a green buoy, and vice versa. Red and green, stay between. This is as we're exiting Richardson Bay from the resort, going out on the big round. You see these two buoys, you always want to stay between them. Okay, this is the second most dangerous spot on the lake, and this is called Hinton Bay. Everybody likes to go here because it's one of the calmest bays on the lake on a windy day. Now you've got a series of white buoys here. And then again, if you see a red and green down there, that's the only way you can get in and out of this bay. I've had various people damage their boats in this bay, even homeowners that own properties come through here and they see the buoys and they say, oh, there's two white buoys. They think they're no wake buoys because again, the white buoy is confusing between a no wake and a hazard. If you look at these white buoys, they say rock. And if you were to go through here, you would completely damage your boat. And I will drive up here and show you exactly how shallow it is. We're going to talk about the third most dangerous spot on the lake. This would be called, I call it Schoolhouse Bay. It's on the north end. And again, you've got the white buoys. People think that's a no wake zone. Extremely shallow. If you go between those buoys, you will damage or even destroy your boat. Red and green, stay between. These are the only two areas or two buoys that you can go in between to go into Schoolhouse and to come out. Very weedy bay. Really no reason that you would need to go in there. But if you did, I just want you to be safe and make sure that you understand that. Talk about the third most dangerous spot on the lake, and I would recommend that you avoid it. We're in what's called Muskie Bay, and that's if you came out of Richardson Bay and you went to the right, and there's a little narrow area here, and that's called Mud Lake. And you can get into Mud Lake, but if you look, there's a white hazard buoy in there. It's also extremely weedy. So if you go in there in the middle of the summer, you're going to get weeds that are wrapped around your prop, and you're going to potentially have some problems. So I recommend staying out of there. And then just to the right of that is also another bay that a lot of people like to go to. And you can see the white buoys, and those are hazard buoys. So from the tip of that island to that last buoy there is all super shallow, and there's potential for wrecking the boat. So please stay out of that bay and Mud Lake. While going out at night, it's highly recommended that you do not go out at night. All the boating accidents in northern Wisconsin usually happen after dark, and that's because people are having too much fun. They're having alcohol, and it's not that you're going to hit somebody, but I'm worried about somebody hitting you. So being that it's a rental boat, I recommend that you do not go out. If you're traveling in at dusk, you do have lights by the steering wheel. There's a nav light button to turn your lights on. If you don't have a nav light, then I have manual lights that are battery operated, one on the front, one on the back that you have to turn on, and you can come in at dusk. But again, I please recommend that you do not go out on the lake at night. Thank you for watching this informational video. I hope you'll use it to help you be safe on the water. If you are on the lake and you have problems, you can always call me or text Mike Best 715-558-4014, or you can reach out to the Round Lake Marina and we will do whatever we can to get you off the lake safely if you have any issues. Thank you.